Good morning, students, and welcome to our ICT 7 second quarter week 2 discussion. This is Aljay Buyan, your ICT 7 subject teacher. So for this week's discussion, we will be talking about proper use of tools. So proper use of ESD tools. So the purpose of anti-static wrist strap is to equalize the electrical charge between you and the equipment. The anti-static wrist strap is a conductor that connects your body to the equipment that you are working on. So when the electricity or static electricity builds up in your body, the connection made by the wrist strap to the equipment or the ground channels the electricity through the wire that connects the strap. So if you wear this wrist strap, which prevents anti-static discharge, it will not electrocute you because the wrist strap is a conductor that connects your body to the equipment that you are working on. So the wrist strap has two parts and easy to wear. So first is wrap the strap around your wrist and secure it using the snap or velcro. So the metal on the back of the wrist strap must remain in contact with your skin at all times. Then second, snap the connector at the end of the wire to the wrist strap and connect the other end either to the equipment or to the same grounding point that the anti-static mat is connected to. So the metal skeleton of the case is a good place to connect the wire. And then when connecting the wire to the equipment that you are working on, choose a metal surface so that a painted surface does not conduct the electricity as well as the unpainted metal. So next is the anti-static mat. So it is a likely conducive. So it works by drawing static electricity away from a component and transferring it safely from the equipment to a grounding point. So lay the mat on the workspace next to or under the computer case and then clip the mat to the case to provide a grounded surface on which you can place parts as you remove them from the system. So the use of anti-static mat is to protect your computer case or any part of your computer which may cause any damage when you put it anywhere. So this is the use of the anti-static mat. Okay, next is proper use of hand tools. So a technician needs to be able to properly use each tool in the toolkit. So this topic covers many of the various hand tools used when repairing computers. So first is screws. So match each screw with the proper screwdriver. So place the tip of the screwdriver on the head of the screw and then turn the screwdriver clockwise to tighten the screw and then counterclockwise to loosen the screw. So screws can become stiff if you are over tighten them with a screwdriver. So a stripped screw may get stuck in the screw hole or it may not tighten firmly. So discard stripped screws. Okay, we have an example of a hand tool. So we have here flathead screwdriver. So this is how we use this. So use a flathead screwdriver when you are working with a slotted screw. So do not use a flat head screwdriver to remove a Phillips head screw. So never use a screwdriver as a pry bar if you cannot remove a component, and then check to see if there is a clip or latch that is securing the component in place. So caution, if excessive force is needed to remove or add a component, something is probably wrong. Then take a second look to make sure that you have not missed a screw or a locking clip that is holding the component in place. So refer to the device manual or diagram for additional information. So when you use flathead screwdriver, it should not be used to remove Phillips head screw. So the flathead screwdriver can be used on a slotted screw, which has a L shape on the top of the screw. Next, we have the Phillips head screwdriver. So use it with crosshead screws. So do not use this type of screwdriver to puncture anything. This will damage the head of the screwdriver. So they have intended use. So if you use Phillips head screwdriver, it should be used on the crosshead screws, not on the slatted screws, which may be taken by a flathead screwdriver. Next is hex driver. So how to properly use hex driver. So use a hex driver to loosen and tighten bolts that have a hexagonal 6-sided head. So hex bolts should not be over tightened because the threads of the bolts can be stripped. And do not use a hex driver that is too large for the bolt that you are using. So you need to know if the hex driver fits on the bolt of the computer. So caution, some tools are magnetized. So when working around the electronic devices, be sure that the tools we are using have not been magnetized. So if this happens, magnetic fields can be harmful to the data stored on the magnetic media. So this will cause damage. So test your tool by touching the tool with a screw. So if the screw is attracted to the tool, do not use the tool. So if the hex driver is attracted to any tool that to any screw, if it will magnetize to any screw, then do not use it, because it will just cause damage to your computer parts. Next are the part retriever, needle nose pliers, or tweezers. So the part retriever, needle nose pliers, and tweezers can be used to place and retrieve parts that may be hard to reach with your fingers. So do not scratch or hit any components when using these tools. So caution, pencils should not be used inside the computer to change the setting of switches or to pry off jumpers. So because the pencil lead can act as a conductor and may damage the computer components. So the part retriever, needle nose pliers, or tweezers have or may have the same use. So as you can see it or you can read it, it is used to place and retrieve parts that may be hard to reach with your fingers. Now let's talk about the proper use of cleaning materials. So in keeping computers clean inside and out is a vital part of a maintenance program for us to maintain our computer and be usable for a long time. So dirt can cause problems with the physical operation of fans, buttons, and other mechanical components. So on electrical components, an excessive buildup of dust will act like an insulator and trap the heat. So this insulation will impair the ability of heat sinks and cooling fans to keep components cool, so causing chips and circuits to overheat and fail. So when dirt or any dust on your computer will cause chips from or any circuits to overheat and fail if not cleaned by any material to use. So caution, when compressed air is used to clean inside the computer, the air should be blown around the components with a minimum distance of 4 inches from the nozzle, because if you if you do not use the compressed air at least or minimum distance of 4 inches or maybe lower than that, it may cause a damage on your computer parts. Okay, so the power supply and the fan should be cleaned from the back of the case. Then next is, before cleaning any device, turn it off and unplug the device from the power source. So for your protection also, because if you clean the device when it is turned, it may electrocute you and or damage, or you may damage the computer parts also. And next, computer cases and monitors. So what are the things that we need to use in cleaning these? So clean computer cases and the outside of the monitors with a mild cleaning solution on a damp, lint-free cloth. So mix 1 drop of dishwashing liquid with 4 ounces of water to create the cleaning solution. So if any water drips inside the case, allow enough time for the liquid to dry before powering on the computer. So this is how we clean the computer cases and monitors. So next we have LCD screens. So do not use ammoniated glass cleaners or any other solution on an LCD screen unless the cleaner is specifically designed for the purpose. So harsh chemicals will damage the coating on the screen. So there is no glass protecting these screens, so be gentle when cleaning them and do not press firmly on the screen because it will also damage your LCD. Okay, next is the CRT screens. So to clean the CRT screens of CRT monitors, we need to use a dampen, a soft, clean, and lint-free cloth with distilled water and wipe the screen from the top to bottom. So then use a soft, dry cloth to wipe the screen and remove any streaking after you have cleaned the monitor. Then clean dust the components with a can of compressed air. Compressed air does not cause electrostatic buildup on components. So make sure that you are in a well-ventilated area before blowing the dust out of the computer. And then the best practice is to wear a dust mask to make sure that you do not breathe in the dust particles, so as to protect yourself also. Okay, next is to blow out the dust using short bursts from the can. So never tip the can or use the compressed air can upside down, and do not allow the fan blades to spin from the force of the compressed air. And then also hold the fan in place. Fan motors can be ruined from spinning when the motor is not turned on. Next is cleaning the component contacts. So clean the contacts on components with isopropyl alcohol and do not use a rubbing alcohol. So because rubbing alcohol contains impurities that can damage contacts. So make sure that the contacts do not collect any lint from the cloth or cotton swab. And then blow any lint of the contacts with compressed air before reinstallation. So the contacts can be seen on the motherboard. So anything that you can see on the motherboards are contacts. So if you rub it, if you use rubbing alcohol on the contacts, it will cause damage on your computer. And also if you have clean it with cotton, if the cotton will have any contact with it and there be left of cotton on the contacts, it will also cause damage on your computer in the future. Then next we have keyboard. How to properly clean our keyboard. So clean a desktop keyboard with compressed air or a small handheld vacuum cleaner with a brush attachment. So never use a standard vacuum cleaner inside a computer case. So the plastic parts of the vacuum cleaner can build up static electricity and discharge to the components. So use only a vacuum approved for electronic components. So that is why we have guidelines on how to clean this keyboard with its particular or the appropriate tools. or cleaning materials. Then lastly, we have mouse. So use a glass cleaner and a soft cloth to clean the outside of the mouse, and do not spray glass cleaner directly on the mouse. If cleaning a ball mouse, you can remove the ball and clean it with glass cleaner and a soft cloth. So wipe the rollers clean inside the mouse with the same cloth, and do not spray any liquids inside the mouse, because it will the parts of the mouse can be damaged if you spill or spray any liquids inside of it. So that's all for this week's discussion. Thank you for listening, and may God bless you all. And for your activity on this topic, you may access it on our LCMS or Learning Content Management System at lcms.gaitf.com. This is Algebri An, your teacher in ICT 7, signing off.